Hey folks, David Stewart here. Did you hear the news? The crushing, horrible news. Elder Scrolls Blades is shutting down. I'm actually going to talk over some footage of my own review of this from a couple years ago. I did not like it. I thought it sucked. I thought it was a cash grab mobile game that wasn't necessarily bad because of the bad microtransactions, though that definitely makes it bad. It's part of what makes it bad, but really just didn't understand what Elder Scrolls was at all. The way that you played the game, at least back when I tried it out for the channel, was you have a little town that you're in, and then you go to do quests, and rather than exploring a world and discovering things, it just transports you to a dungeon, and then that dungeon has a little light that guides you through the dungeon. And when enemies approach you, they kind of engage you one at a time, and the terrible mobile controls, you kind of flub your way through them, kill things, get loot, and really the entire game was designed to just do that part of the gameplay loop over and over again. So it's like they looked at some person that's really into, say, game theory. Someone who watched a lot of those extra credits videos from back in the day decided, oh, what Elder Scrolls is really about is this gameplay loop of killing monsters and getting loot. And it's like, yes, killing monsters and getting loot is an important part of the Elder Scrolls experience. But the killing monsters and getting loot is one of the things that you engage with in order to get the bigger, higher level feelings of I'm exploring a real fantasy world. I'm engaging maybe in a second life. I'm finding out cool lore that interests me. I'm maximizing my character as well. I'm learning to master my environment and become powerful in this world. All of those feelings, yes, they're driven by killing monsters, killing bandits, and getting loot, but not only those things. So it's like they just took the gameplay loop and said, well, that's what we're going to make the game. And now I'm mentioning that it's shutting down. This has been announced. Does anyone care? I made a video a while back. Are mobile games even worth preserving? This is a good mental exercise to have. It's a good mental exercise to think about, because is a bad game worth preserving? I would say, yeah, I actually think it is worth preserving, because I think all art is worth preserving. What makes something like Elder Scrolls Blades kind of sad is that there is content. Somebody designed these dungeons, somebody placed these items here, somebody decided where things were gonna go in order to challenge a player, in order to get a player to do things, in order to try to engage them. And even if it's poorly executed or it's really bad compared to the real Elder Scrolls experience, it's still somebody had some human intent behind what was going on here. I think it's a great example of the craze, kind of the final stage of the mobile gaming craze that really kicked off in the early 2010s. And I feel like it's actually dying a bit of a death now, as some mobile games really are just full-featured games, rather than what you get here, which is we need to make a mobile game, and we need to make it for a phone. While that ad plays, I'm going to switch over here. So we have to do all the phone stuff that we do in a phone game. It has to be controllable on a phone. We have to be able to touch the screen in order to control things. So it can't actually be complicated. We can't have difficult gameplay. It can't be that deep, and everything has to drive you towards spending money. And that's what this was. It had like loot boxes and things like that. So the monetization strategies over the 2010s got increasingly bad, and unfortunately Elder Scrolls Blades was at the end of that. So instead of getting maybe a piece of DLC for a real Elder Scrolls game, maybe some actual development on Elder Scrolls 6, we got Elder Scrolls Blades, kind of a half-assed, crapped out Skyrim light that doesn't really scratch the Elder Scrolls itch at all. Elder Scrolls, as far as what the experience is a very deep experience. That's what makes people love Skyrim. It's what makes people love Morrowind and Oblivion as well, and including, Daggerfall and Arena. They're experiences that have depth. There's a lot of layers to them. There's a lot of feelings that you get from playing them. that aren't just, I'm glad I killed a rat or I'm glad I killed a bandit and now my character is more powerful. There's a lot more to it than that. And I also don't think that there was a lot of thought in this game as far as like, how does your character get more powerful? You know, it's all very surface level. So this is one of those questions, like, was this a game worth preserving? I think it is, and it's sad that it wasn't good enough to bother playing when it came out. And that was the general consensus. It just wasn't a very good game. And I'm waiting for these mobile games to come out that are actually good. Instead, what we get is something like you can do Genshin Impact and you could play that on a mobile phone, but that's not really like the best way to play it. You know, you should play it on your PS5 or on your PC or something, but you could play it on your phone. Like you can do some stuff in it on your phone if you have to. There's like an option to play the full game on your phone. It's just like a substandard experience, especially on Android where you don't have controller support or anything like that. Anyway, I would love your thoughts on Elder Scrolls Blades. Like, is this a game that anyone actually played? I don't think anyone actually played this game that I know of. I think my entire audience missed it. There was like 2 people that got pissy about me crapping on this game because they thought it was cool. And I'm sorry for those people. I'm sorry that you're going to lose out on this great gaming experience of pushing a sword across your screen and seeing. God, that lettuce back there is gigantic. It's like a world champion lettuce. Look at that thing. Somebody's growing cabbages with cabbage steroids. Anyway, I'm sorry for those people that actually liked it, but to me, it's just kind of a sad, wasted effort. Like, rather than making a real game, we made a crappy mobile game. And that's the big sadness for all of mobile games to me, is that it's just a bunch of wasted potential. It's a bunch of things that the resources that could have been spent having a real gaming experience, instead of trying to design a Skinner box, which is actually really hostile to the player. It's hostile to the player in the sense that you have to create a whole bunch of friction and barriers in order to get that player to spend extra money, because you can't charge for a mobile game. That's like the feeling now, right? Is like at one point, like in the around 2010, you could charge money for a mobile game. You could just sell a game on the App Store and people would buy it. But I think in 2020, by 2020, which is I think around the time that I actually recorded this footage, you couldn't do that anymore. You had to have a free-to-play model with like freemium currency and all these different currencies that you had to like gamify the currency collecting to try to get people to pay a lot of money and to attract whales. It's like you got to get people that are going to spend thousands of dollars on the game rather than people who are just going to play casually. Just charging $70 for a game and playing it and being done with the game. It's like, it'd be better if we could get people to pay $150 for the game. And so what you end up with is mobile game design that almost nobody likes. Even the people who end up liking mobile games, it's like, but what if you could just do this but only pay $70? They'd be like, well, I assumed that would be better. Look, $99.99 for an Imperial coffer. Oh my goodness. So they really, really like we're going for whales. Like, hey man, you want loot? It's just $100. It's like $100 has a gigantic amount of alternate utility, a huge amount of alternate utility. Yet there are people who will pay $100 for a loot box or something like that in a game. So I think what we've had happen over the last 5 years is there's just been a lot of people turning away from this sort of thing. They've just decided that it's not for them anymore. And the games that seem to do really well are all gacha games. Because of that random reward. It's like, that's like the next level of the Skinner box. But I feel like the gacha experience is actually more fair in a lot of cases than what we were getting 5 years ago. Even though like loot boxes are really like a gacha experience as well. But like whatever they've developed into has been in a lot of ways more fair. Like they figured out how to balance it so that players don't feel like, oh yeah, I can't really compete or do anything fun in this game unless I pay $150. You know, I don't feel that way about some of the other newer games that I've tried out. But anyway, I would love your opinions. Leave them down below. Let me know what you think. Was the Elder Scrolls Blades worth preserving? Was it a missed opportunity, or is it what I think was just, it's a crappy game that it's really unfortunate that they spent those resources? They could have been making a real Elder Scrolls game with those resources, and they just didn't do that. They made another crappy cash grab mobile game. So take it easy. I'll see you all next time. Have a great, great day. And check out the new album, zulonline.bandcamp.com. And you can read more stuff on my Substack linked down below.